I never expected that sharing an apartment with my best friend from high school would lead to the most intense night of my life. Dave and I had always been close, joking around, hanging out, but never in a million years had I imagined seeing him as anything other than just a friend. However, that particular night, as I lay awake, heart pounding and mind racing, I knew things had shifted irreversibly between us, and there was no turning back now. What had begun as an innocent decision to split rent during our university years had quietly become a tension-filled reality that neither of us dared address openly. We'd chosen this city together, moved into a cozy two-bedroom place not far from campus, excited to tackle life side by side. The transition from high school to college had been rougher than anticipated, with late-night study sessions and endless stress chipping away at our usual carefree banter. Exhaustion wore us down, leaving us vulnerable, raw, and perhaps too open to noticing subtle details, like the way Dave's sleepy eyes lingered on me during breakfast, or how our casual high-fives now lasted just a heartbeat longer than they should have. Yet, despite these tiny hints, we acted as though everything was normal, pushing through lectures and exams, laughing over bad movies, pretending nothing had changed. But it had, at least for me, it had been happening slowly, building silently beneath the surface until that one specific night, when Dave had drifted off into peaceful sleep after we'd finished watching a horror film. My mind, however, had refused to rest, driven by a relentless desire that left me restless and painfully aware of his presence just one room away. At 2 a.m, unable to contain my curiosity any longer, I quietly crept from my bed, my footsteps cautious as my heartbeat thundered in my chest. Approaching Dave's room, I noticed his door was slightly ajar, and a faint glow of moonlight illuminated a part of his bed. Through the small opening, I glimpsed his silhouette sprawled gracefully across the sheets, and my breath caught sharply in my throat when I realized he was sleeping naked, the thin blanket carelessly draped, exposing his perfectly sculpted torso and the delicate curve of his hip. I knew it was wrong, that I should turn back immediately and respect our unspoken boundaries, but my body refused to obey. Drawn by an invisible force, I stepped softly into the room, my pulse racing as my eyes traced the lines of Dave's peaceful figure. He stirred slightly in his sleep, and I froze, half terrified, half exhilarated at the risk of being caught watching him. In that electrifying moment, my mind raced wildly, torn between guilt and an intense longing that I could barely contain. Suddenly, Dave's eyes fluttered open, catching me standing by his bed. My heart stopped. He stared at me in confusion for a second, but when our eyes locked in the dim moonlight, I saw something else entirely: recognition, curiosity, and a spark of longing that mirrored my own. "What are you doing, Colby?" he whispered softly, his voice thick with sleep and an emotion I could hardly believe was real. I hesitated, my mouth dry, heart pounding. I took a shaky breath, gathering every ounce of courage within me, and finally answered, barely above a whisper, "I don't think I can pretend anymore, Dave." He didn't respond immediately. Instead, his eyes held mine, filled with an intensity I'd never experienced from him before. Slowly, a gentle smile curved his lips as he reached out, his fingers gently brushing against mine, sending a jolt of electricity through my entire body. "Then don't," he said, pulling me gently toward him. Our lips met softly at first, uncertain, tender, then deepening as the hunger we had both secretly harbored exploded into passion. His arms wrapped around my waist, pulling me onto the bed. Our bodies pressed close together, warm skin igniting every nerve within me. The careful facade we had maintained was shattered forever, replaced with a raw honesty that left me breathless and exhilarated, knowing nothing would ever be the same between us again. Lying together on Dave's bed, our bodies pressed warmly against each other. I felt as though I'd crossed into another world, one that I had secretly hoped for, yet never dared to expect. His breath was warm against my neck, sending shivers down my spine each time his lips grazed my skin. It was as though we'd finally opened a door that had remained firmly shut for far too long, and now we were discovering what lay beyond together. His gentle touch, soft caresses, and lingering kisses slowly erased every doubt and fear I had harbored about crossing this line. "I never thought we'd end up like this," Dave whispered softly, his voice low and comforting, while his fingertips traced delicate patterns down my spine, sending pleasurable sensations cascading through my body. The genuine surprise and vulnerability in his words reassured me that I wasn't alone in feeling overwhelmed by the sudden intimacy between us. Hey, thanks for watching until this point. Please leave a comment if you're enjoying the video. It really helps us grow the channel and reach more people. And hey, thank you very much. Let's get back to story. "Me neither," I murmured, my hand exploring the gentle slope of his shoulders, savoring each new detail of him that had previously been off limits. "But now that we're here, it feels right, doesn't it?" Dave responded by tilting my chin up to meet his gaze, his dark eyes reflecting the silvery moonlight filtering through the window. In his expression, I saw an earnestness that melted away the last remnants of my hesitation. Without speaking, he drew me closer, our lips meeting again, this time with more confidence, more certainty. Our mouths moved together perfectly, soft and slow at first, then deepening, exploring, savoring every new sensation and taste. His hands were tender, almost reverent as they explored my body, fingertips gently tracing the lines of muscle along my chest and abdomen, making my skin tingle with excitement and anticipation. When I returned the gesture, running my fingers across his warm skin, he shuddered beneath my touch, letting out a soft sigh that made my pulse quicken. Every caress felt like discovering him for the very first time, transforming the familiar friend I'd known into someone infinitely more complex, more compelling. The intensity between us continued to build, slow and steady, like a fire gradually igniting in the darkness. My breath caught in my throat as Dave gently rolled me onto my back, hovering over me, his eyes locked onto mine as though searching for any lingering doubts. When he found only trust and eagerness, he smiled warmly, leaning down to press delicate kisses along my jawline, down my neck, and across my collarbone, each one igniting sparks of pleasure and heat that rippled through my body. Feeling emboldened by his touch, I reached up, guiding his lips back to mine, kissing him with a newfound passion and confidence. The room around us seemed to fade away, leaving only our shared breaths, the warmth of our skin, and the pounding of our hearts in perfect harmony. The boundaries we had once so carefully maintained vanished completely, leaving us free to explore each other's desires openly and honestly. As our bodies intertwined, passion surged between us like a powerful current, carrying away all hesitation and leaving only raw, honest need in its place. Dave's fingertips brushed gently against my cheek, his gaze tender and loving as he whispered, "I never imagined it could feel like this with you." Smiling softly, I pulled him even closer, our bodies molding perfectly together beneath the sheets. Neither did I confessed quietly, running my hand gently through his tousled hair, marveling at the intensity of my own feelings. "But I'm so glad it does." Wrapped securely in each other's arms, our breaths slowing to a comfortable rhythm, we finally drifted into sleep. Yet even in rest, we clung tightly as though reluctant to surrender the newfound intimacy we'd only just begun to explore. The friendship we'd cherished for years had now transformed into something far deeper and more profound, changing our lives in ways we were just beginning to understand. Morning sunlight streamed gently through the thin curtains, casting soft golden patterns onto Dave's walls as I slowly awakened. For a brief moment, I forgot where I was, until the sensation of his warm body pressed comfortably against mine brought the memories of last night flooding back. My heart quickened with excitement as I turned my head slightly, taking in the peaceful sight of Dave sleeping soundly, his face relaxed and his dark hair tousled against the pillow. Watching him sleep, a wave of tender affection swept over me, mingled with a flutter of nervousness as I wondered how he'd feel once fully awake. Would last night's intimacy become a source of awkwardness, or would it mark the beginning of something new and beautiful between us? Gently, I reached out, lightly tracing the outline of his cheek with my fingertips, savoring the newfound closeness between us, hoping he would feel the same when he opened his eyes. Dave stirred slightly under my touch, his eyes fluttering open, blinking softly until they focused clearly on me. For a brief moment, surprise flashed across his expression, but then a warm, reassuring smile spread slowly across his lips, melting away my anxious thoughts. Without saying a word, he pulled me closer, wrapping his arms around me in a comforting embrace that confirmed last night was as meaningful to him as it had been to me. "Good morning," he murmured softly, pressing a tender kiss to my forehead. His voice held a gentle warmth that sent a pleasant shiver racing through my body. "Morning," I replied, my own voice barely louder than a whisper, as though speaking too loudly might disturb the fragile peace we discovered together. "Sleep well." Dave chuckled softly, his chest vibrating pleasantly against mine as he nodded slightly. "Better than I have in ages," he admitted, running his fingers lazily up and down my back, sending pleasant tingles spreading through my muscles. Though, honestly, I wasn't sure I'd even be able to fall asleep after everything. I laughed quietly, nodding in agreement as I allowed myself to relax fully into his arms, savoring the warmth and security they offered. "Yeah, I felt the same way," I confessed quietly, my fingertips gently tracing small circles on his bare chest, savoring the softness of his skin against mine. "But I feel happy. Really happy." Dave shifted slightly, propping himself up on one elbow to look down at me, his dark eyes filled with sincerity as he gently brushed a lock of hair away from my face. "Me too," he said earnestly, his thumb stroking my cheek softly. "Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect when you came into my room last night, but I'm so glad you did." His admission made my heart swell with relief and joy, chasing away any lingering doubts I'd harbored about what this meant for us. With a newfound boldness, I leaned up and kissed him softly, letting the tenderness of the moment convey everything I wasn't sure how to express in words. Dave responded eagerly, deepening our kiss as our bodies moved instinctively closer, seeking each other's warmth and affection in the quiet solitude of the morning. As our kisses grew more passionate, I felt an undeniable rush of excitement, knowing that what we had shared last night wasn't simply a fleeting impulse, but rather the beginning of something profound. Dave's hands roamed gently over my body, exploring every contour, every sensitive spot, with a gentle reverence that made me feel truly cherished. My fingers followed suit, learning the landscape of his skin and delighting in the soft sighs that escaped his lips at my touch. Eventually, reality intruded upon our blissful morning, the sound of Dave's phone vibrating on the bedside table reminding us both of classes and obligations that awaited. With reluctance, we slowly untangled ourselves, sharing one final lingering kiss before accepting the inevitable demands of the day. Yet, as we dressed and prepared for the morning, our eyes constantly met, small smiles and shy touches passing between us, silently reaffirming that last night had forever changed the nature of our friendship. The days following that unforgettable night unfolded in a dreamlike haze, transforming our once ordinary apartment into something profoundly intimate. Dave and I had always been close friends, but now a newfound warmth colored every interaction, each casual glance carrying a secret meaning only we could share. I felt a flutter of anticipation whenever I heard his footsteps approaching the door, wondering if he'd kiss me softly or wrap his arms around me in a playful hug, deepening our bond day by day. Despite our growing closeness, however, we hadn't yet defined what we were becoming. Neither of us had voiced the question directly, perhaps hesitant to disrupt the fragile magic we'd discovered in each other's embrace. Instead, we allowed our connection to deepen naturally, feeling no pressure to label it. This careful balance lent a delicate sweetness to our newfound romance, making each stolen moment together feel incredibly precious. One afternoon, as I returned home after a particularly exhausting day of lectures, I found Dave in the kitchen, cooking dinner with casual ease. My heart skipped as I leaned in the doorway, watching him move gracefully between the stove and the countertop, completely unaware of my silent presence. The scent of garlic and spices filled the air, creating a cozy, welcoming atmosphere that felt like a warm embrace. When Dave finally glanced up and noticed me standing there, a bright smile spread across his face, lighting his eyes with warmth. "Hey you," he said softly, setting down the wooden spoon he'd been holding and stepping closer. He didn't hesitate, wrapping his arms securely around my waist and pulling me into a gentle, comforting kiss that made my heart pound pleasantly in my chest. "Long day?" I nodded with a soft sigh, allowing myself to relax fully against his strong, reassuring body. "Too long," I admitted quietly, resting my head on his shoulder and inhaling his familiar, soothing scent. "But this makes it all worth it." Dave chuckled gently, his fingers running soothingly along my back in small, comforting circles. "Good," he murmured softly into my hair, planting another tender kiss on my temple. "I'm glad I could help." That night, after a quiet dinner filled with easy laughter and shared smiles, we found ourselves curled up together on the couch, the apartment dimly lit by the soft glow of a forgotten television show playing quietly in the background. Dave's arms wrapped protectively around me, holding me close as though he were afraid I might vanish if he let go. The silence between us felt comfortable, natural, a shared understanding passing effortlessly between us without the need for words. "Colby," Dave finally whispered. his voice gentle yet filled with uncertainty. I felt his body tense slightly beneath me, his fingers tracing absent-minded patterns along my arm. "I've been thinking about us." My heart quickened at his hesitant tone, and I tilted my head up to look into his eyes, searching for the words he was struggling to say. "Yeah?" I asked softly, my voice encouraging but cautious. He took a deep breath, his eyes never leaving mine as he continued quietly. "I'm not sure what this means to you, but for me, it's already become more than just casual. I'm starting to fall for you, Colby, deeply." A warm rush of emotion surged through me, a potent blend of relief and pure happiness. My heart swelling with love I could no longer keep hidden. "Dave," I said gently, reaching up to cup his face in my hands, feeling the warmth radiate from his skin into mine. I felt the exact same way. Ever since that night, it's been you, only you. His eyes widened slightly with surprise before softening into a deep, affectionate gaze filled with relief and joy. Without another word, Dave leaned in, kissing me tenderly. A kiss so filled with unspoken promises and deepening affection that my whole body responded, warmth spreading through me. We kissed slowly, savoring every second, allowing ourselves to be entirely open to each other as our passion and desire grew stronger. As our kisses became deeper and more intense, I felt Dave's fingertips exploring my body gently, caressing my shoulders and chest with reverent affection. My own hands moved instinctively to his sides, pulling him closer, each touch and embrace further sealing the bond forming between us. We allowed ourselves to get lost in each other, moving seamlessly from the couch to Dave's room, our shared tenderness and longing blossoming into another beautiful night of intimacy. In the quiet darkness afterward, as I nestled comfortably against Dave's chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, I knew without any doubt that this wasn't a fleeting attraction. We had stumbled into something real, something powerful, and it was only growing deeper with each passing moment. The change in our relationship quickly transformed our daily lives, infusing every interaction with new meaning and excitement. Dave and I no longer pretended to merely be roommates. Instead, we embraced our feelings openly, letting them guide us into a deeper connection that neither of us anticipated. Whether it was holding hands beneath the dinner table or sharing a lingering glance during a busy morning, every small gesture felt significant, reinforcing the bond we'd so unexpectedly discovered. But as beautiful as it was, our new relationship also brought subtle tensions, especially when it came to telling our friends and families. Neither of us had openly dated other guys before, and there was a shared anxiety around how our newfound love would be received. Still, we both knew hiding was not an option. Our bond had grown too strong to keep behind closed doors. One rainy Sunday afternoon, we decided to stay in, settling onto the couch beneath a warm, comfortable blanket, mugs of steaming tea in hand. The sound of the raindrops hitting our window created a calming rhythm, comforting us as we prepared for a conversation we'd both been carefully avoiding. Dave shifted slightly beside me, setting down his tea and letting out a soft sigh as he turned to face me. "Colby," he began gently, his eyes reflecting a mixture of tenderness and concern. "We need to talk about how we're going to handle us publicly." I took a deep breath, nodding slowly as I met his gaze, my heart tightening slightly with uncertainty. "I know," I replied softly, setting down my mug to take his hand, needing the warmth and security of his touch more than ever. "It's just that I've never done this before. I've never been open about dating a guy." "Me neither," Dave admitted quietly, squeezing my hand reassuringly, his thumb stroking soothing circles against my palm. "But I don't want us to feel like we need to hide this. What we have is special, Colby. It's real, and it's important." The sincerity in his voice struck a chord deep within me, calming my fears, reminding me why we'd fallen for each other in the first place. His confidence, strength, and gentle understanding were exactly what I needed to steady myself. "You're right," I finally whispered, leaning into him slightly, drawing comfort from the quiet strength he radiated. "I'm proud of us, Dave. I'm proud of who we are together." and we deserve to share it. A slow, genuine smile spread across his lips, his eyes shining with relief and affection. He leaned forward, pressing a gentle kiss against my forehead before pulling me closer, wrapping his arms around me in a protective embrace. "Then we do this together," he promised softly, his voice filled with determination. "Whatever comes, we'll face it side by side." In that quiet moment, as the rain continued its steady drumbeat against our windows, I felt the weight of our fears begin to ease. I believed Dave's words with my entire heart, trusting completely in the strength and love we shared. We weren't alone, we had each other, and that was enough. The following week, we slowly began revealing our relationship, first to our closest friends, then gradually to others. The reactions varied, but mostly people offered their support, sensing our happiness was genuine. There were, of course, occasional moments of awkwardness, but Dave's steady presence at my side made it all manageable, his unwavering support guiding us through even the most uncomfortable situations. One evening, after we'd had dinner with friends who'd warmly celebrated our newfound relationship, we walked home hand in hand through the city streets, feeling more deeply connected than ever. I glanced sideways at Dave, his face illuminated by the warm, golden glow of streetlights, his expression peaceful yet filled with quiet joy. "Dave," I whispered, squeezing his hand gently as we slowed to a stop beneath a softly glowing lamppost. "I don't think I've ever been happier. Not just because of tonight, but because of us." He smiled warmly, his eyes bright with emotion, stepping closer until our bodies were pressed gently together. He cupped my cheek in his hand, brushing his thumb tenderly across my skin. "Neither have I," he murmured softly, leaning in to kiss me deeply, his lips warm and inviting, conveying a profound sense of belonging and trust. We stood there beneath the gentle light, embracing as the world around us faded into the background, the bustling sounds of city life becoming distant whispers. The only thing that mattered was Dave and me, wrapped securely in each other's arms, savoring the quiet, undeniable certainty that what we had discovered was precious beyond measure. From that evening forward, Dave and I became inseparable, learning to navigate life's complexities hand in hand. Our shared apartment transformed from merely a convenient living arrangement into a cozy sanctuary where every corner was filled with reminders of our newfound happiness. What started as an innocent friendship forged in our teenage years had evolved into something deeply meaningful, something neither of us had dared to imagine before. Over the next few weeks, we adjusted smoothly to our new reality. Sharing our relationship with friends had felt like a weight lifted off our shoulders, bringing a fresh sense of freedom and openness to our daily lives. Still, each moment we spent alone together became even more precious, deepening the emotional bond we'd discovered that night Dave first woke up to find me standing nervously in his bedroom. Late one evening, as we lounged on the sofa watching a familiar movie we'd both seen a dozen times, Dave rested his head softly against my shoulder. The faint glow of the television screen washed over us, but neither of us was paying much attention to the film. Instead, we were caught up in each other's presence, savoring the comfort of simply being together. "You know," Dave murmured sleepily, his fingers tracing gentle patterns along my arm, "I've never felt so calm, so sure about anything in my life before this." Smiling softly, I pressed my lips gently to his temple, inhaling the familiar scent that had become such a source of comfort. "Me too," I whispered back, feeling the steady rhythm of his breathing beside me. "I keep thinking about that night, about how I couldn't sleep because I realized how much I wanted you. It changed everything." Dave shifted slightly, tilting his face upwards to gaze deeply into my eyes, the warmth in his expression sending shivers down my spine. "And I keep thinking about waking up, seeing you there, and realizing how badly I wanted you too," he admitted softly, a tender smile playing across his lips. "It was the scariest, most exciting moment of my life." I chuckled softly, my heart swelling with affection as I brushed my thumb gently across his cheek. "And look at us now," I whispered, our faces mere inches apart, our breath mingling in the quiet space between us. Without another word, Dave closed the small distance, kissing me with the soft intensity of someone who had found their true place in life. His lips moved slowly against mine, tender yet filled with a passionate depth, drawing me even closer. My fingers slid into his hair, caressing gently as we both sank into the warmth of our embrace. Our kisses grew more heated, fueled by the unspoken promise of love we'd nurtured carefully since that first night. Dave's hand explored my back in slow, meaningful strokes, sending warmth cascading through every nerve. His gentle touch spoke louder than words ever could, reassuring me that what we shared was beyond mere desire. It was love, trust, and deep understanding. Hours later, lying together in the quiet darkness of Dave's bedroom, now comfortably ours, I let my fingers lazily trace gentle paths along his bare chest. His heartbeat was calm beneath my palm, a reassuring rhythm that anchored me, offering comfort even as I drifted towards sleep. Dave pulled me closer, wrapping an arm securely around my waist, his voice soft yet strong as he whispered into the quiet night air, "I don't ever want to lose this feeling." I nestled against him, closing my eyes, feeling utterly content in his embrace. "You won't," I replied softly, letting out a gentle sigh as peace settled over me. "We've come too far to ever let go." In the days, months, and even years that followed, Dave and I continued building a life together. The spark that ignited our relationship that late, sleepless night remained strong, carrying us through the challenges and celebrations alike. What started as a hesitant step into unknown territory grew into a confident stride forward, bound by love, trust, and the shared history that had always connected us. As we walked through life together, each passing moment reminded me of that night when I quietly entered Dave's room, unaware that the simple act of watching him sleep would forever alter our destinies. Now, lying beside him, with his steady breathing calming me, I knew without a doubt that the best decision I'd ever made was following my heart straight into his arms.